All right, this is 1.9 experimental, and it says toggle mixed up or write code practice. It looks like all of these include writing code. I don't see any of the other ones. So let's see what these look like. All right, so it says experimental. For each of the problems below, if you need help, you can pull down the toggle menu. Looks like I got low battery. Like it's always during this class that I have low battery. To choose the associated mixed up code problem to help you get started. For the mixed up code problems, there are no blocks. I don't see any blocks, so I'm just going to ignore that. Oh, okay. I got it. I got it. So you're saying if I click where? Oh, act. Ah, I see. Gotcha. This is the first time I'm going through CSAwesome, so. All right. That's good to know. I'm just going to stick with this. All right. So it says write code that prints Maria's first name on one line and her last name on the next. So we've already, I'm just going to line that up. The reason why we have, it says add your code here. Okay. I'm just going to write below it. That's a comment. So the computer's not going to print it out. So I want to print this out. So I'm going to say system.out.println. So it goes to the next line. And typically, I'll write the open and close parentheses. There's some IDEs that automatically, as soon as you open it, it will close it for you. So I'm going to go ahead and just say first name, not inside quotation marks. It's a habit of me doing that. And then good thing about programming, copy, paste, and instead of first name, last name. Let's run it. Compiling my code. Got it right. Maria Hernandez. Looks like a lot of these are similar. Okay, it says write code that prints the poem roses are red, violets are blue, sugar sweet, and so are you, with one sentence on each line. Got it. System.out.println semicolon, and we'll say roses are red. Copy it. I'm going to paste it a few more times. So it's not roses are red, roses are red, roses are red, roses are red. And it's roses are red. Violets are blue. Make sure to type it the way they want. Doesn't have a period. Sugar is sweet. And so are you. It's very nice of them. And run it. All right. Now, if I would take out this comment, I can delete that out if I really wanted to. It doesn't really do anything. And even what I like to do is I like to clean up the code, make it look nice, not have like random like spaces way in there. It doesn't affect the code, but I just like cleaning all that up. So, all right. And some people like, it's just preference, you know, some people like having a gap between there. You can leave a blank line of code in between. That's fine. Some people just have their own preferences. It's nice if you're working on a project together. It's nice to have the same standard that you're all working by, or the same convention. Write code that prints Marx's name on one line and his favorite color on the next. This, I don't have to even type anything. I'm just going to paste these two from my last example. System.out.print, and I'm going to print the variable name, and I'm going to print favorite color. All right, I'll go ahead and run it. And it runs. All right, moving on. Next example. Write code that figures out the cost for each shirt if you buy two and get the third, and they are originally $45 each. All right. So it doesn't give me a variable name, so I can choose whatever I want, it looks like. Buy two and get the third free. So I'll say it's double price for two, and I'll assign it to whatever the price is times two. Or, I mean, you don't have to even create a variable there. I'm just doing what they've recommended in the past. Like, that's kind of what they did when we mixed the code up. They wrote a variable. I'll show you one way and then I'll show you another. All right, so I don't know, maybe the other one, I'll say double price for three, and I'll take and divide by 3 here. Probably need a semicolon after that line. Okay, so I have price for 3, and then it's going to say write code. The cost for each, or if you buy two and get third free, they're originally 45 each. All right, so I guess then I'll print out. I almost wrote Python code right there. System.out.println price for 3. And I'm guessing I'm going to come across more mistakes in my code now that I'm actually typing it, because it's typically how it ends up being, right? Compiling my code. It ran, it passed, but check this out. I'm going to go ahead and just comment out these lines real quick, and I'll show you another way. Another thing I could have done was I could have just said price for 3, and I could have just taken whatever the price was and multiplied it by 2, put it inside parentheses, and then divided it by 3, right? And typically that's how I would have written it. And then just, I almost wrote Python code again. I remember I was asking my high school Spanish teacher, I was like, how did you know when you were finally like, English was his first language. And I said, how did you know that you were finally like fluent in Spanish? He said, when I started dreaming in Spanish. Right, that was interesting. Anyway, if I were to run this code, I still get the same answer, but I've done it in 2 lines. You see why like this might be preferred, just doing that. And in the programming examples they gave before with the blocks of code they used, and what I commented out, right? The computer didn't run this, but they like created a price for 2 variable. That's just an extra step, right? When you first starting to begin programming, like you might do that, but that's not necessarily a valued convention going forward. So I'll leave that there too, but that's what it would look like. Sometimes if you come across a bug in your code, let me know. It might be a semicolon, it might be improper spacing or spelling something wrong. Okay, it says write code that figures out the cost per person for a dinner, including the tip. Assume the bill was $89.23. There are 3 people and the tip should be 20%. Okay. So, I mean, you could figure out the tip first and then add it on to whatever the price is. But why don't we just do it all in one line? All right, let's start to think more, I guess, critically here. So that's the bill, and maybe I'll just say total. So I want to multiply, well, I guess I'll start with 89.23. That's the bill, and I'm going to add on whatever the tip was. And the tip is 89.23 times 0.2, yeah. Or I could just divide by 5. Whenever I'm trying to figure out the tip, like, I don't know if you guys go to restaurants. I mean, you guys are in high school. I don't know if you guys ever go out a lot, but I just divide the price by 5. And that's the same as multiplying by 0.2, right? So if it was like $15, I'm like, oh, I'll leave a $3 tip. Just divide by 5. And the easy way to do that too is if it becomes a really big number, you can just move the decimal point over to the left 1 and then multiply it by 2. So if I see like $89, I'm like, oh, divide by 5, right? Let's say it's even bigger than that. Like, and I don't know off the top of my head what it is. Move the decimal point to the left 1. That gives you 8.9. So $9 times 2 is 18. And I just tip $18. Right. So multiplied by 89.23 times 0.2. And then I guess I got to print that out, right? System.out.print line total. So rather than creating like a tip variable and all this, unless like you're going to always use that, like let's say you always are going to tip, I'll say double all caps for like a constant, right? You could say right, you could create something that you reuse over and over and over in a longer program, but I'm not going to. I mean, I could do that, right? 0.2, and I'll say times tip. Times, yeah, I guess that's okay. I'll always tip 20%, right? So let's say I'm like super cheap and I say, all right, I'm just going to tip like 0.5%, right? Wouldn't do that, but if you would, right, that's what you could edit it to. It's just another way of doing it. I'm just exploring different ways, trying to play with your mind. Run it, see what happens. Failed. What didn't it like? Total multiplied by tip. Was that part of it? Per person. Oh, see, that's why. Write code that figures out the cost per person for a dinner, including the tip. There are 3 people. So I got to take all that, divide by 3. Right? Maybe. We'll see. Let's run it. There you go. Yeah, I was just running it if it was 1 person. So, like I said, I'll come across mistakes in my code like that all the time. And I'll be like, what's going on? It's because I didn't read. Most of the time, that's the problem, because I didn't read it properly. Good catch. All right. Write code that calculates and prints the number of seconds in 5 days. Seconds in 5 days. All right. So I guess I need to create some variables here. The number of seconds, I'll say int. What's that? I'm on 1.9, but I'm on question number 6. Yeah. All right, so I'll create an int and number of seconds. So number, I'll say seconds in minute. is equal to 60 seconds in a minute. And then I'll say the number of minutes in hour using camel case is 60. And then I'll say the number of hours in day. I'm just making these variables up. You can call them whatever you want. You could call them hours. I'm just saying hours in day to make them more specific. Number of hours in a day is 24. I almost wrote 12. And then I'll just write this. I don't need to write this, but I'll just say num days is 5. So then I can just write on the next line, but normally I like to declare and initialize at the top and then do my calculations down a little bit further just to create that separation. I'm a very visual person. So if I take the seconds in minute times the minutes in an hour times the hours in a day times num days I guess I got to declare the name of it first. Int, and I'll say seconds in 5 days. So I create a variable seconds in 5 days, and then I multiplied all that together. And then let's print it out. I'll say system.out.println. I'll say seconds in 5 days. All right, now I'll run it. See if I made any mistakes. Nope. 432,000. It's a lot of seconds. Do you ever I don't know if you guys ever do this. I was always curious, see how some of these people with super busy schedules, look at someone I'll use Elon Musk, for example, right? Who has a bunch of different companies and how he splits his time. How do you allocate your time throughout the day? And how long do you spend on certain things? Or what days of the week do you focus on certain things? And there are people who schedule out every 5 minutes of their day or the entire day, 5 minutes, 5 minutes, 5 minutes, 5 minutes, 5 minutes. It's nuts. I think I would go crazy if I was always, unless I were to schedule some sort of freedom in my day to get something done. Hey, I'm gonna schedule 20 minutes to do whatever I want. And maybe that is important, right? Maybe some people do that, but think of what top politicians, their schedule looks like, and all the meetings they have to go to and how things might be canceled. Anyway, they are still people. They are, unless they're taking this pill that they a specialized secret pill that just give them superpowers. Yeah. I always need some sort of entertainment in my life. I need to always do something active too, or else I just there's times where I'll just be so set on finishing an app or a program I'm working on and just be typing for a long time. And it'll take days and weeks and realize I haven't done much. Usually over the summer for summer break, I'll spend a lot of time just to myself and focusing on passion projects, and realize I was I neglected so many other things in the process of that. Write code that calculates and prints the number of months it would take for you to save $500 if you made $50 a week. If you're making $50 a week, that means you're only probably working what is Maryland's minimum wage? 11? Is it really? Dang. I think it was $7.50 or $8.50 when I was younger. Yeah. Back in my day. It's $11 an hour. Everything does cost more, right? Gas costs more. Groceries cost more. Anyway, so if you're making $50 a week and you're making minimum wage, you're only working a couple hours a week, right? Anyway, so how long would it take for you to save? So I'll say I'll just put it as a double because we're dealing with money and it's nice to do that. So I'll say, what's a good variable name? Money per week? No, that's not good. I'll just call it per week. It is 50. And I'm not sure why it does this. So check this out. So when I'm here, double per week, and I click enter, normally most IDEs will put me right in line with the next. And it gives me this. So I got to click backspace twice. I don't like that because then what happens is you end up writing your code, right? And hit enter, and then it takes you here, right? I don't want to do that.
There was like spaces, or it's like like a 5-tab space, some weird thing like that when you enter, it's like it's gonna be different, right?
Right, like sometimes even if I'm here, right, I should be able to hit tab, and I hit tab again, and it's still not lined up.
6 spaces back, 2 tabs and 8 spaces, so it's like weirdly off track.
Anyway, I'll do it. Hit backspace twice every time. It's nice to line everything up. It just looks nice, right? It looks neat. Correct. Spacing is very important in Python because they don't have semicolon to end of each line. So in order to avoid the semicolons, your spacing has to be great. Your indentation has to be perfect. So per week, how much you're making per week. And I guess I'll say how much I want to save. So I'll say my goal is $500. You can name your variable whatever you want. All right, so I'll create an int because the int will take off the remainder regardless. And I'll say, how long does it want me to, what do I want to call this variable? I'll say print the number of months to goal. And I'll say goal divided by per week.
Why are you using a double?
I just like using a double for money. Because like, what if, I guess in this example, I don't need to, but it's just a good habit to get into because then you start dealing with money and start writing ints. There were errors. Of course, there's errors. Let's see what it was. Incompatible types. So it's saying, I guess it wants me to cast it beforehand. All right, I'll do what it wants. Wrong. I got to print it out. Well, it says, write the code to calculate and print the number of months it would take for you to save $500. Oh, a week. You're right. See, like I said, most times it's just from me not reading it. I'll like just skip over all that. All right, so we'll say months to goal. So I create a variable. I could just create this per week, and then I'll say int per month, and I'll just say 50. I don't know. So oops, per week times 4. That's also assuming there's 4 weeks in a month. All right.
1.10 and 1.9 are almost identical. Each question is a little bit different. So I actually did 1.10. I'm so confused.
All right, let's test it. I probably did something wrong. Oh man, it says help is available. Oh man. It says expected. What am I doing wrong here? Oh, wait. Per divided by per month. Gotcha. See, I corrected up there, but didn't correct down there. This is typically how I end up programming. I'll end up like making mistakes along the way like this. Failed again. Oh man. It says expected 2.5. The actual was what's that? Yeah. It doesn't. So yeah, it's casting it in. I thought that's what it wanted though. I didn't realize it wanted like half a month, right? You know, I don't think it's specified that it wanted. Oh, make sure your answer is a man. I need to do better at reading. Like I was an English major my first year of college, and that's why I switched my English major. Make sure your answer is a double. All right, here we go. This is the right answer. What? Does that mean that's got to go through and put them all as doubles? So I'm going to go back to what I originally did. There you go. 1 out of 1 correct. See? And the reason is because, you know, when you start using, and that's why I always like using doubles for money, because then you end up switching to an int and trying to abide by something small. Anyway. All right. So that's what the code should eventually look like. Not saying you have to use the same variable names, but I got it to work in the end. Man, that's embarrassing. Look at that. That took a while. But at least like I think that's the biggest thing. Like some people when they're first learning programming and their code doesn't run, they'll just like I'm done. Like I can't do this. Right? Like I tried it 7 times. Well, let's try it 8 times because the 8th time might work. Write code, print your name followed by the age on the next line. Okay, that's easy. System.out, not put. System.out.print line. In Python, you just write print. Nope. Already doing bad habits. Name. And then let's put my age here. I'm actually looking at my code before I run it now. Ready, run. Oh, I didn't read it. What did it say? Oh, man. Come on, guys. You got to warn me before I run it. All right. Let's see. All right. So your name is concatenate it. Your age is, man. This is what happens when you write code for someone else and it's not your own. You have to abide by their guidelines. Start your own company. Don't work for other people. There you go. Pass. I did it. All right. I'm gonna read this time. I like read it and just be like reading it out loud, but not actually paying attention to it. Write code that prints the name on one line and the favorite food on the next line. Your output should look like, got it. All right. System. Now I'll like forget like a semicolon or something. Print line. I'm gonna include that semicolon there. And it needs to say, your name is space and quotation, concatenate it with name. Then I'm going to copy it because I'm going to be lazy. Whoa, did you see that? Check that out. Watch this. Lined up. That's pretty cool. It's crazy. I like it. I love it when someone works the way it's supposed to. Exactly. Your favorite food is not name. Food. All right. I'm gonna read the directions again. Your output should look like, all right, it looks like that. Hopefully, I'm gonna run it. Let's see what we get. All right, back on track. 1 for 1. All right. Write code that calculates and prints the cost of a trip that is 200 miles. So I'll say int miles is equal to 200. And the price of gas, so I'll say double gas is 220. And I'll say miles per gallon, MPG, is equal to 42. All right. Make sure your answer is a double. See, I'm getting better at reading. All right, and look, I entered twice. Things are just getting better, and it's all lined up. So I'm going to calculate cost of trip is 200 miles. So I'll say miles times the price. Gas is 220. Price of gas 220. The miles per gallon. So I'm guessing the price of gas is 220 per gallon, and the miles per gallon is 42. Okay, so if gas is 220 per gallon and I get 42 miles per gallon, okay, so I'd take 42 miles a gallon. Okay. So what's a good variable name? What can I say? I'll just do all the calculations. I'll just say price. And so what am I going to, I'll ask you guys this, okay? What am I going to have to do in order to, like, what is the order here? How should I order this? Okay, let's do it. So you're saying divide miles by miles per gallon. And then once I have the miles per gallon, right, then I figure out how many, like what the price is for gas, multiply it by gas. And I need to, do I need to cast anything? System.out.println. I always like just testing it and seeing if it actually works. Price, because I'm taking a int, dividing it by an int and multiplying it by a double. Yeah. Say it again. That's why I have him in this class. Right. I do need a data type. It's price. I'm still like going back between Python accidentally. Yep, writing a data type. Good call. So I have my data type. It's double. One of the miles in miles.
The expression will implicitly capture the
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. Let's see what we get. Failed. Because when you take an int and divide by an int, it's going to get an int. Right? Because then it will, correct. So one of them, you need to be a double. Look at that. So can I do that? Let's see. Pass, right? Or I could have just put a double up in here. I could have made miles a double or miles per gallon a double. But yeah, so just for clarification, I'll say it out loud. The reason why, when we originally didn't have this here, okay, we took miles and we were an int divided by an int will give you an int and then multiply by a double. I need to at least put a double there, or I could have changed one of the data types up here. Right. Little bugs like that in your programs that help is available. What? I got it right. Because I did it a third time. I got you guys for help. Write code that calculates how many miles you can go on half a tank of gas if the miles per gallon is 26 and your tank holds 15 gallons. All right. Okay, so I'll say miles per gallon equals 26. And this is not Python, so I'll just say int. And your tank holds, so I'll say tank 15. And write code that calculates how many miles you can go on half a tank of gas. Okay, so I'll just go ahead and create a variable, why not? And I'll say double, I'll say half tank is equal to whatever the tank is, divide it by 2. Okay. So how far can you go on a half tank of gas if the miles per gallon is 26 and your tank holds 15? Okay, so we'll start. Maybe I should wait till the end to divide by 2 then. Try to think of different ways I can do this. Most efficient way, we'll figure out in the end. Calculate how many miles you can go on half a tank of gas if the miles per gallon is 26 and your tank holds 15 gallons. All right. So miles per gallon, I guess I'll multiply, what do I want to call this variable? I'll say I don't know, I'll say total. Miles, I'll say miles half tank. And at the end, I'm just going ahead of time, system.out.println, and I'm eventually going to print out miles half. Okay, so turning it over to you guys. I'll let you guys practice this. All right, what would I like to do in order to make this work? Okay, what is something that could work if I have a variable called miles half tank? You know, your miles per gallon, you get 26 miles per gallon. Okay, and your tank holds 15. Could I say miles per gallon? Then what? Say it again. Right. So you have half tank. Half tank is, in this case, you have 7.5, and that would be whatever the half tank is. And anything else I'm missing out on? Put a double right here. So maybe I should have just made this a double. I'll go ahead and do this. All right, let's take a look. Run it. Good stuff. So it says expected 195. We actually created one with a decimal. It didn't say that needed double as the answer. So we got to work. Sweet. Write code that calculates and prints how many chicken wings you can buy with 350. The wings are 60 cents each. All right. So I'll say how much money I have. So I'll say, I don't know, I'll just make up a random variable. I'll say in my wallet, I got 350. All right. And chicken wings. What's that? I want to see you guys end up correcting us to some things like that. The semicolon in the last one, was on purpose. The other things weren't. This one right here was as well. But I do need, like, these little things need to be nailed down. And even as you become a more experienced programmer, you end up making these little mistakes more like on a daily basis. But you know, you can call your variable whatever you want here. And I'll say one wing, right? So I'll say double one wing is 60 cents each. Look at that. Look, I wrote 60 cents and then hit enter. Nope. All right, so double indenting. Like at the very end of a line. You double tab. So you come here, you click that, and then what do you do?
No. Before I even write the double wallet, I hit enter, I get a new line, and I hit double tab.
I see. Gotcha. Write code that calculates how many chicken wings you can buy. Okay, so I got 3. So I want to be able to figure out how many chicken wings I get. So I'll say int. I'll say wings, right? And I'll say let's see. I got my wallet divided by how many I got, how many, like, price per wing, but that's going to give me a double, right? So what can I do? Say it again. They want it as an integer. So what would be my solution here? If I got a double divided by a double, that's going to give me a double. Could I do something like this? What do you think? So you're saying if I assign this to it, it'll automatically throw it away? I mean, that'd be kind of funny if you go to, like, you guys ever been to Hip Hop Fish and Chicken, right? Yeah. See, lossy conversion. So what if I try this? Pass. Okay, so check this out though. If I wouldn't have included the parentheses around here, would that have worked? Because it would have been int divided by a double. It would have thought that wallet is an int and then divided by a double, and double takes precedence and would automatically convert it to a double. So I used parentheses there to say, all right, this is double divided by double, still a double, but cast it as an int. Oh, you know what else? I asked my wife, yes, remember how it's like, and in casting, when you're making pottery and like that's a popular term. I told my wife and she was like, I've never heard that. I've never heard of casting. I forget what she said. She called it something else, but it wasn't casting. Yeah, it was like another word. And I was like, I literally told my class, I was like, you know, Miss Stanza probably knows this. And she's like, no, I never knew that. They lied. Passed. Move on to the next one. Write code that calculates how much you will have to pay for an item that's 60% off the original price. Okay, what's the catch? All right. Calculate how much you pay for an item that's 6% off the original price. All right, so I'm just gonna say, what costs $52? How much? Oh yeah, is that like the price of like jeans now? Like nice jeans? That's $52.99. Let's say that's let's say that's the price of going to go see the Batman movie. I haven't seen the Batman movie, right? Is it good? So let's say I walk in and Mr. Ridings is working at Movico, or not Movico. What is it called now? At the IMAX theater, right? Mr. Ridings is working the second job over there, and he says, "All right, I'll give you a 60% discount." Or maybe one of you guys are working over there, let me in for 60% off. $52. Let's see, movies cost how much? Like, is it like over $15 for a movie now, right? What?
Teachers, please excuse this brief interruption. The baseball scrimmage scheduled for today has been canceled.
Yeah,
The baseball team
obviously.
will still practice today. Thank you.
Yeah. Right. So I'm going to multiply. So this was the discount here, right? So whatever the discount was, and this is a common mistake. You're like, oh, like really right now, you're only figuring out what the discount is. You're not figuring out, you'd say like, all right, whatever the price was, right? You're going to add it to, oh, I'm sorry. Whoa. Nope. You're going to have to figure out what the price is already $52.99. I guess I'll go back. I'm back. I'm moving too fast. How much does it cost? $20 for IMAX? How much is it if you just want to go to the movies, not IMAX? $15. So if I spent 52, that means I'm taking like, I think I got kids discount. But how much is a kid? You know where I normally go? I usually go in Linthicum, but to what's it called? Hoyt's. There's no one ever there. It's a nicer movie theater, I think, but it's just like there's no one ever there. I go there and it's like cheaper there too. All right, so we're finding out what the discount is. So how would I write this if I didn't want to find the discount and wanted to actually find the total price? What would I do? And you said it, but how would I write it? Exactly. So I'll say 1 minus discount. Is that the end of class bell? Yeah. All right. So we'll print this out. System dot out dot print line. How much is it cost me to go to the Batman movie? I guess I'm taking multiple people with me. And we'll run this. Passed. All right, so the last one, number 15, says write code that calculates and prints how much the per item costs is for shorts that are buy two, get the third free. Shorts are $39.99 each. Okay, so we're going to calculate how much the cost per item is. Buy two, get the third free. So I'll create a double and I'll just say total. And we're going to take whatever the price is and multiply it by 2, because how much it costs for 2. And then we're going to divide by 3 because we're going to end up getting 3 pairs. The third one would be free. It says add your code here. I'm just going to put it up there. And then we'll print it out. Print line. And we'll print out the total. And let's see what we get. Errors compiling your code. And I forgot a semicolon. There you go. And run it. And it works. All right, pass all the tests. It says you have attempted 15 out of 15 activities on this page. Completed. Well done. Awesome. So I know it took time to go through all of those, but that is 1.9 experimental toggle mixed up or write code practice.